Hi, welcome to my channel. What I'm going to do now with my Loco is another mod. Now, when I first built this engine, I worked to the drawings, the Roger Marsh drawings, and the cab included a coal bunker, which I didn't incorporate. I didn't fancy the idea of a coal bunker at the side of the firebox, so I didn't bother. But after running now a bit, I've found that using my plastic coal tray bucket on the tender is a bit of a bind, and after having a run on my friend's Romulus with his coal bunker built in, I thought I'll make one for mine. The one I'm going to make is it'll have to be modular. It'll have to slot in because the original coal bunker was actually built into the structure of the cab, and that's, I don't know if it can be seen here, but that's roughly the coal bunker dimensions there, the size. Not very well like this here, but that's the coal bunker at the side anyway, and there's the casing for the fire, covers the firebox. And so what I've decided to do is to, as I say, make a modular bunker so that the whole lot's finished and it'll just slide in and be bolted down, and if I don't like it I can just slide it out. So that's what I intend doing. Now, I've never been a big fan of tin bashing. It's something I've never been really keen on, but it's something you've got to adapt to, otherwise you'll never get anything built. Some people take to it like a duck to water, but I do get there, but it's a slow job with me. But so that's what I'm going to do. I have some sheet steel which I've had knocking about, and I've also got some steel from our old central heating boiler, which packed in just a couple of weeks ago, and the steel is very good quality. It's just the right thickness, so I think I'm going to incorporate that, use that instead of the other stuff I have, which is a little bit on the rusty side. It'll mean a lot of cleaning up. So that's what I've planned to do. So off we go.
Now I've got the piece of steel which I mentioned. This is from the old central heating boiler, and it's quite good steel, nicely coated as well. I'm just sorting out my combination square. Now this is the More than Right, which I've had a few years, and it's in good quality, good condition. Is this set? It's been carefully looked after. I'm not sure whether More than Right still make these. I think they were incorporated into some other company. I'm not really sure. Well, More than Right is Britain's answer to Starrett. They're always very, very high quality measuring gear. More than Right. In fact, all my micrometers are all More than Right. I'm just going to mark out where I need to cut, and then I'll have to decide which is the best way to cut it. I have some bench shears, some heavy duty ones, which are very good, and I might use those, but it could be awkward with the size of this. If not, it could be the angle grind, just to roughly cut it across, and then finish the edge either by filing or using a grinder. Well, now I'm just transcribing it with this tungsten carbide scriber which I use, but it's proven a little bit difficult to read on this white background, so I'm going to use this fine pen. I've used these before, and they're almost like CD marker, but they're a lot finer, and they do really produce a nice clean line.
Now this bad boy, I've been using this for years, and it's really very good for cutting sheet steel although I think I'm going to struggle with this big piece because of the width. Well, I'll give it a go, but I've had this a lot of years and it's served well. It's a bit different to some of the ones that's on the market. This has got the quadrant and a gear wheel, and you can vary the position by just moving the quadrant and the position of the lever. There is an extension to it. There is an extension, but I don't use that. But it does work quite well. It's really good at cutting. Another section like this, it's okay, but I think when I get the wide piece on, I think I could have problems with it passing under the other side. And that's really good for cutting. It will cut a 16th. I have actually cut a 16th with this without a right lot of bother. And there's the blade there, and there's the other blade. This is the guide which keeps the tin in position flat, which can be moved up and down. Now when I got this, in fact there's a screw missing which I need to replace. When I got this, the blades were quite blunt, so I reground them on a surface grinder, and since then they've been excellent. They are very good. Vary it in different positions.
I think I'm going to struggle with this piece of steel. I think it's going to get in the way. I'm not really sure here whether to use the shear, or in fact I'll probably end up I think using the angle grinder. It's just a little bit awkward to hold, and I found I was struggling a little bit. Normally it's no problem, but it's just the overhang that was a little bit awkward. I give it a go, and then just cut a short way and then give it up, and took it out and decided to get the old angle grinder out. Well, I managed to clamp it down onto the bench, and I'm going to have a go with this angle grinder. I'm always a bit apprehensive using angle grinders on sheet steel. Yeah, I've seen people use them without any bother, and they cut through all sorts of stuff without any apprehension. But I'm always a bit wary. I'm always frightened of the thing grabbing, and I've never been happy using angle grinders, funnily enough. Although I've used one for years and years, especially when I'm doing welding. I'm still wary of the things. But anyway, it's doing the job. It's just holding the grinder comfortable. I'm just struggling a bit here with holding it. And it's a very heavy angle grinder, is this. I think really I could do with changing a bit more updated one. This is a very old one. I've had this quite a lot of years now. Well, that seems to have gone through okay. It looks alright. There's that. Just a matter now of filing the edge. I'd like to get the edge nice and square. Even using angle grinder, it's going to leave a little bit of roughness. Well, I've just mounted this piece of steel which I've just cut with the angle grinder. It's on this old wood foundry pattern. I use this method quite a lot when I'm squaring up sheet steel. I just file across the top now here until it's level with the scribe line. And this an easy way of filing sheet steel on the edge. Quite rigid this, and you don't get any squeaking or vibration. I've used this method for years. Now I'm just going to saw a piece off this piece of steel. And this is the old Chinese bandsaw, which I've had quite a lot of years now. It was given to me by my late brother. He used it quite a lot, and I've used it a lot since. And it's been one of the most handy machines I've ever had in my workshop. Saved a lot of hacksawing. Now the only thing that's wrong with this machine is that my brother put the base plate on wrong. It should be the other way around really. The slot coming from the back, but I haven't bothered altering it. I've just left it as it is. It hasn't made any difference really, and I just use it as it is. They're very, very handy machines. If aught went wrong with this, I'd certainly invest in another one. When my brother gave me this machine, he also gave me a large coil of saw blade, a really big coil. It lasts me the rest of my life, and I just make up my own blades, scarf the joints, and silver solder them together. I've never had any bother with them. It's very rare any break, and they seem to last forever. The only limitation with these bandsaws or doing cutting like this is throat depth. Not that lot of throat depth, so you've got to allow for that. But doing jobs like this, it's a piece of cake. And if you're going to cut any large diameter stuff off bar or angle or square stuff, it saves a lot of messing about. Better than hacksawing it. And it'll cut quite large diameter steel with this saw. It's surprising what it will cut. And there's been lots of modifications about on YouTube with these bandsaws. One of the best modifications I did was mount it on a base with casters, so I can move it about my workshop, get it out of the way when I'm not using it. Well, this is the piece of sheet steel now. It's been cut with the angle grinder, filed, piece cut off on the edge with the bandsaw, and it's reasonably square. It's lying reasonably flat. It's going to be bent over, and that will do. It's don't have to be anything precision. Now one side of the bunker has a large radius on the corner, and I've just marked it out here, and I'm going to position it under the bending rolls, apply some pressure and just form this radius. It's not special, it's just really for appearance. It don't matter whether it's on the large side or the small side. I have drawn out a template on a piece of card on the bench, so I'll just adjust this and get some kind of a curve and see how it matches the template to what it's supposed to be. It's just a matter really of trial and error. I mean, just putting pressure on the bottom roller there to form the radius. The radius is not important really on this. It can be either bigger or a bit smaller. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's got a curve, just help it a little bit there, and we'll see how it goes. So it's just trial and error. I have made a drawing on a piece of card, and I've done the form of the shape of the bunker. So when I get this, when I think it's right, I'll just try it on the drawing. If it's near enough, it'll do. I've just noticed I've got a small kink there to do it this way above the large roller. So now that's happened, probably we're bending it by hand. It'll soon come out, will that? I'll soon flatten that out. just a little bit more, I think, a little bit more pressure on the bottom roller there, and we're getting very near. It's not looking too bad. Apart from that tiny little kink, I don't know how I managed that. Well, I think that looks about right actually. So I think I'll ease it off, take it out, and try it on my drawing. See what it's like. As I say, it doesn't really matter whether it's a little bit bigger or a bit smaller, as long as it's got a reasonable curve. I'll have to just get that little bit of kink out there. I think a rubber mallet will teach it good manners. They're very good at these bending rolls though. George Thomas design, well worth making.
Well, that's pretty close. It just needs straightening out a little bit, this side, but that's pretty close. I'll look at the other side, which doesn't really matter, but and the radius matches pretty close there, and that will do. I ain't going to get it any better than that. And it's also lying flat. It's laying flat down, so it shows that everything's more or less equal. Yeah, it's lying flat. There's very little light showing through the base. Well, if you're wondering what all this writing is on the side of this piece of steel is, it's actually to do with our old boiler, central heating boiler, which packed in before Christmas. And when the engineers took the boiler out and stripped the front panels and side panels off, the large front panel, I thought, well, I'm going to have that. That'll do for some spare sheet steel, because it's quite good and a decent thickness. Thought I'll have that, and all these are just instructions. It's very good, good steel. It's ready painted as well, primed. So, as I say, waste not, want not. And there we are.
I've already got the radius one bent. There's just one more to do now, and that's a sharper cornered one. I'm going to use my homemade bending rolls. Made these many years ago. Article in the Model Engineer again. And these work very well. Simple, bit of flat steel and some angle. Nothing special really. Adjusting screws there for pressure. Very rare I use it, but it's always handy when you need to bend some tin up. It will bend up to a 16th. Above that, you'll be struggling. In fact, it'll probably strain it. I have bent quite a lot of steel up over the years with this. As I say, I don't really like sheet metal work, but it's been very handy for it. These studs need replacing. They've got corroded somehow. The thing I've done with this bit of angle is to machine the underside there to make sure that the edges are nice and flat, so it lays down on a steel sheet evenly. So when you tighten the screws up, it sits gripped properly. It might not be necessary really, but I thought I'd just do it to make sure that it does lie nice and flat on the base there. Well, this is just really straightforward. I marked it out there where it needs to be bent, line it up with the edge of the angle there, and just bend it. Simple. nothing sophisticated about this. I've cleaned up all these edges with the intention of spot welding, just spot welding along each edge to put the bunker together. But I decided otherwise. I thought I won't bother with this. It's not going to be all that good, I don't think. So I've decided just to use do it the traditional way with some angle iron and rivets or screws. And that's going to be the easiest way, I think. I don't really want to be having this all distorted. Labels are still there. Not bothered taking them off because, as I say, they're going to be inside. Here's where the cutout's going to be, with the small scoop tray there for the coal. I'll cut that out before it's all put together. Well, I'm using black angle here because I find black angles a lot more accurate than bright drawn. I've already drilled some holes in one part of it, and it's clamped together, and then I'll just spot through with the drill, and then get some rivets in it. There's the holes which I've previously drilled for the rivets. Well, I've got the rivet snap set up in the vise there. I'm using copper rivets, by the way. I think these are okay for what it's used for. I'll just hammer them over. The holes have already been chamfered in the angle so that the end of the rivet spreads out and forms a nice strong joint. Well, I've just tried a rivet in with one of the holes. It's a nice tight fit, so I'm just having to push it out again. Make sure that I've got it in the right way around, and then get it on the rivet snap. Goes straight on the floor, usual. It's amazing it hasn't disappeared completely, because everything I drop on my workshop floor is gone forever. Never ever see it again. I mentioned in a previous video that my workshop floor is actually a black hole. These astronomers have got nothing to compare with my workshop floor. Anything that drops is gone forever. I just position it there, and a few whacks with hammer, and that hole, let's see it okay. Use the ball peen end then to just finish off. I always find riveting a really satisfying process. I always like riveting. I've riveted quite a few stuff over the years, as I would imagine most model engineers do. But it's always nice. Sometimes when I've riveted, especially steel rivets on steel, I have another rivet set of snaps, and I just form the head on the side I'm hammering. Now, this method I'm using is what you call cold riveting. It's used for small copper rivets or small iron rivets up to about 3/16 or even 1/4 inch iron rivet. Any bigger, you really need to be warming them up. If you don't, you're going to be struggling. But I'm using copper rivets, as I mentioned, and for this construction, it's adequate. There's no stress being put on the joint, and it's just a lot easier. In the old days, riveting was the most common method for joining metal plates in boiler construction, and shipbuilding and all other things where plates had to be joined, workers would eat the rivets until they were red hot, and then they'd insert them through the pre-drilled holes in overlapping plates, and then hammer the ends to create a tight, secure joint. And this method was very effective for bringing two plates together. And I believe riveting is still used today in repairing steam boilers and even constructing new boilers. Although most boilers today now are welded. And when these plates had been riveted together, they did what was known then as caulking or fullering, and that was a method for closing the edges of the riveted plates. It made them closer together to make sure there were no leaks, and sometimes the rivet itself would leak, and that would be caulked too with a special tool. Or if that didn't work, it'd be drilled out and re-riveted. Well, I've got the bunker more or less knocked together now. I've got the top angles there. I've just cut a piece of sheet steel here to fit on the top to form the top plate, and then I'll cut a section out for access for filling up with coal, and then I'll make a lid with a hinge. The coal plate has to be fitted here on the opening there. It'll be a tight slotted fit will this, so I'll be able to take it out and change things.
Well, the bunker now's more or less temporary fitted into the corner of the cab there. It's actually easily removable. It's not going to be a permanent fixture. It will be bolted down from inside. There's some holes drilled down there, but I don't want it permanent. If I change my mind later, I can always take it out. This is the lid for it, which needs a hinge making now, and that'll be the next job. I've got the small shovel plate there fitted. It just stops coal getting all over the foot plate. Also, I'm not right keen on the idea of shoveling directly onto this. It could badly score it and make a mess, and because if I decide to take it out, I'm going to have to redo all that. So that's the reason for the coal plate there. Well, that's the coal bunker just about finished. Simple, nothing special. I'll give it a go. It should just slot straight back in now to the foot plate, and there's three small screws that hold it down. And I'll see how it goes, and if it's okay, it shall be left in permanent. If not, well, it'll be taken out again, and we'll see. There's the gap at the back. It should just push, and there we are, slotted in. And that could be a slight problem. We shall have to shorten that, I think, or maybe even put a small magnet on there, and really need that to be left so it stands open like that.
Well, I need to fill it now with some coal and try it out on the next run. Well, I hope you found this video of interest, and once again, thank you for watching.